Are the Boston Celtics ready to take the next step? I am Jim Basquell. The Celtics made the playoffs as a 7 seed a year ago. Are the C's ready to jump in to the top 4 in the Eastern Conference? Chris Forsberg covers the Celtics for ESPN and joins us over the phone. Chris, so they add the likes of David Lee, Amir Johnson, Terry Rozier, their first-round pick. They keep the likes of Jay Crowder and Jonas Jerebko. Are the Celtics ready to jump to the forefront in the Eastern Conference?
Well, I think they hope so, and I think it starts with what happened at the end of last year. And you remember they went 24-12 in the final 36 games of the season. After they had acquired Isaiah Thomas there at the trade deadline, they really sort of launched and found their groove. And I think the Celtics are looking at the fact that they're bringing back 9 guys who were part of that core and who played rotation minutes into the playoffs. And now they're hoping that they can build off that, like you said, adding Amir Johnson and David Lee. They feel like they've only gotten stronger this offseason. So you look at the East and you say, all right, well, you got Cleveland up top, and they're probably the prohibitive favorite there at number 1. But after that, it's really open. So can Celtics shimmy up a little bit and compete with the Chicagos and Atlantas of the world? You got to think they have a chance, and I think they're hoping that Brad Stevens can with a little bit of actual chemistry and cohesion this year instead of the 41 guys that were on the roster last year.
Yeah, that's true.
Take a step forward this time around.
That's true. So how about this, Chris? Tell me one player on this roster that needs to take kind of a leap forward in his game for the team to make that leap forward.
Yeah, I think you got to start with Marcus Smart, who's going to really assume that point guard role this season. You'll remember last year, I mean, he had a great rookie season. It's hard to say that Marcus needs to take his game to another level because he was an impact defender immediately at this level, all NBA second-team rookie. But I think what they want is they want to be able to give him the keys to the car and let him be the guy who can direct this offense. And remember last year they had Evan Turner on times on the floor with him. They always had a second guy who could handle the ball and direct the offense. I think they want to see Marcus take that over a little bit more this year, expand that range to the three-point line. I think they feel that he is the most likely on the team to be maybe their next homegrown superstar. They feel like they can develop him. So if they can get a leap forward for Marcus and really get him going, then I think there's a really good chance this team could do something special. And it's a lot to put on a second-year guy, but Marcus isn't going to shrink from the challenge. Yeah,
he could certainly get after it defensively, that's for sure. There's a good collection of young players and even young veterans, if you will, but there are always rumors out there Danny Ainge might have an itchy trigger finger. Do you suspect that this roster will be the way it is when the season starts, or might Danny Ainge make one more move before the season gets underway?
You're asking me if we can predict what Danny Ainge will do. That's impossible. But I do think if you're betting, it's probably the most likelihood is to bet on a trade because if you can find he's going to do it. And I think that's what the Celtics are hopeful for. Listen, they like this young core. They like what they've got, and they think that, like you said, they can move up into the elite of the East. But they also feel like they've positioned themselves in terms of cap space, in terms of draft picks, in terms of young talent, where if a deal comes along, if something like you think about Houston and James Harden a couple years back, if there's a chance to go get that elite superstar they need, Danny's going to pick up the phone. He's going to make those calls and trying to make it happen. That's what I think they've been waiting for the past couple of years. And if they've just kind of got to just be patient here and wait for that deal to materialize. But when it bubbles up, Danny Ainge will be ready to pounce.
Yeah, and they have enough assets, whether it be young players and or draft picks. That's Chris Forsberg, who covers the Boston Celtics, on a look and if the Celtics are ready to take a jump in the Eastern Conference. Keep up with the latest Celtics news by visiting the NBA page right here on ESPN.com. I'm Jim Basquell.